Hi everybody. For today, Thursday, we're going to take some of the stuff that we've learned about polygons, that they are a plane figure that is closed with straight line segments, no curves, that we can qualify them and classify them, by the number of sides and angles they have. We specifically looked at quadrilaterals, those four-sided shapes. We talked about parallelograms, squares, rectangles, rhombuses, and trapezoids. And talked about all their special properties that help them, how some of them can name more than one shape you're familiar with, and others are very specific. We're going to take what we know there, and we're now going to talk about how we find the linear length around the outside of a polygon. We call that perimeter. So let's take a look at what that will be about. Perimeter of polygons. Perimeter is the length of the outline of a shape. So when we're thinking of perimeter, we're thinking about going all the way around the outside line of a shape. So if we could take this line off, stretch it out, and line it up next to a ruler or a tape measure, what would the total length be? And since it sometimes can be hard to turn corners with our tape measures, what mathematicians will do is they will label the lengths of each side, and then all we have to do is know that we can add them up. So that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to circle them as I write them down to make sure that I get all the ones I need. So 12 centimeters. Notice that we're working in centimeters. That will be important. It's already written for us down here in the answer. They're trying to help us along. So 12 plus 8, because I just need the length of all the lines combined, plus 4, and another 4, plus 6. So do we see this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shape? So there's 5 sides, 5 angles, which means this is called a, remember, pentagon. My N got lost over there, sorry. So now we just need to add this up. So just like anything else, we kind of look for things that go together nicely. I see this 4 and 6 make a 10, this 12 and 8 make a 20. So those together make 30, and then I have my 4 left. So, because of my big circles, I'm going to write my answer down here. I have 30, right? 34 centimeters. So remember, when we're doing perimeter, it's around the outline or the boundary of a shape. So it's a linear length, so it's not the squares inside like we've done with area. The length of the line around. Let's practice a couple more. So on this, oh my gosh, that's the same one we just did. I copied the second one twice. So we're done with that one, remember? Look at this fast adding, 34 centimeters. Same shape. Let's look at this shape here. So we see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape. Remind yourself what a 6-sided shape is called. Yep, it's a hexagon. Hexa is the prefix that helps us know 6. All right, let's add those in. Circle them as I use them. I'm going to go ahead and do 8 plus 6. So 8 plus 6, 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6. One way to check that you have all of the numbers in here, it's easy to make a calculation error or to forget a side. I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides that I'm adding up, and so that helps me to see that I'm doing this with, that I got all of the sides because I have 6 numbers that I'm adding together. So here's 10. Those two together make another 10, and 8 and 4 together make 12. So I have 3 10s, which is 30, and 2 more. So we have 32 centimeters. Don't forget the unit. See, it's not so bad, but it's super easy to make a calculation error, so I would remind you to work carefully and check your work. All right, so this is a little different. Some people might start looking at this and going, oh, I'm going to count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. But if I'm counting squares, do you remember what you're finding when you're finding the number of squares that cover the shape? Area. And actually would say that it was 8 square, without the S, centimeters. But that's not what we're looking for. Look right here, we're being asked to find perimeter. When you see shapes or figures made on graph paper like that, and they have this notation like this right here, they're telling you that the length of the line from here to here is 1 centimeter. So every time I make that little jump, I'll shift colors, that's another centimeter. I'm going to go every other, and then we'll go back and count them. So then I'll go back to purple. So remember the first purple. Oops, I skipped one there. I want you to make sure you see this. Change colors again. As you turn corners, make sure you get all those sides. So sometimes it's helpful to go through and label your shape. You might notice now that across the bottom of this figure, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters. Oops. Okay, right here I have 1 centimeter, I have 1 centimeter there, and I have 1 centimeter there. I have 2 centimeters across this side, 1 centimeter here, and 1 centimeter there. Over on this side, I have 1, 2, 3. These can get really tricky. Do you see all these ones in here? It's so easy to leave off a side. So don't get fooled by that. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I put all those together. And then I have plus 3. I did that. Maybe do this so you can see that you're using plus 4. I got the 1, and I didn't get that 2 yet. So see how I can check that I got all my sides? Okay, so 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. Together that's going to make 14 centimeters. All right, let's try that again. So over here, I have 1, 2, 3 centimeters in length. Across the bottom here, I have 1. Up the side, 1. This way I have 2. There's 1 here. Sometimes it helps me to actually put these lines on here so I see that I've covered it. All right, so I have 3 right here, plus 1, plus 1, plus 2. So I use the 3, plus 1, plus 1, plus 2. So together that's 4. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 more is another 4. And then I have this one up here. So those together are 8 plus 4, those two is 12 centimeters. So if we compare these two shapes, we would say the perimeter of the shape on the left is greater than the perimeter of the shape on the right. You could think if you were making something and you needed a certain length of fence, that if you needed less fence, you would need more of a shape on the left because it only used 12 centimeters of fencing. That wouldn't be a very big fence if we're talking centimeters. On Seesaw, you're going to do some of this practice. You'll see some shapes. This is a couple of the ones that you'll see there. Just make sure that you write your thinking. You keep track of the sides that you're using, cross them out as you use them, whatever you need to do, so you make sure that you're as accurate as possible. Okay, so let's review what you're going to do on Seesaw and in your workbook. All right, do a little work on perimeter in your workbook, page 230 and 231. Again, to review that with somebody at home. You'll have some practice problems on Seesaw. I showed you a couple of those, what they'll look like. Math tiles, go ahead and continue working on those. That's it for today. Tomorrow we're going to combine perimeter and area. Area is something we worked on quite a bit earlier in the year.